Joy FM, and all our social media platforms, brought to you by Petrosol. And indeed, we are your election headquarters, paying attention first of all to the NPP's presidential primaries, as in less than 14 hours, the governing party will be heading to the polls to elect a new flag bearer to champion the cause of the governing New Patriotic Party for the 2024 general elections. So far, we have, and of course you should know that by now, that 4 candidates, including the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, former Greek Minister, Dr. Afriye Engineer Francis Adainimo, and Sin Central MP Kennedy Japan will be courting that support of delegates, as over 204,000 of them head to the polls to choose the flag bearer for the NPP going into the 2024 elections. It is a choice that will either break or make the party. And of course, first we're asking the question, who are these individuals contesting the elections? And presidential correspondent Elton Broby has been breaking that down for us.
The ballot has 63-year-old Member of Parliament for Sin Central Kennedy Ohene Ejipom occupying the number 1 spot. The former Adisale and Fordham University graduate has in the last 22 years represented his constituents in Parliament, but now he wants to represent the entire nation as president.
Ghanaians see me as somebody different from real politicians who always think of the next election and therefore are not able to speak the truth. Ghanaians see me as somebody who is bold, who speaks the truth, who cares for the ordinary people.
Born some 60 years ago, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is second on the ballot, but is first in the NPP presidential race. Having been brewed in the Port of Economics from the Beckenham, Oxford, and Simon Fraser universities, Dr. Bawumia is confident of victory.
I've been to every constituency, slept in many constituencies, and I know the ground. So, as they say, follow who know road. I know the road, and not only do I have the experience, I have the winning experience.
74-year-old Dr. Owusu Afriye Akoto is an agriculturalist by birth and training, from the Pogwari School to the University of Ghana and Cambridge University in the United Kingdom, graduating with honors in agricultural economics. The former Member of Parliament and Minister of Agriculture occupies the number 3 spot.
Your decision in the coming election will decide whether indeed we break the 8. I have a vision to raise the fortunes of the NPP and to reward those hard-working activists like yourself who have served this party diligently over the years. A vote for Dr. Akoto is a vote for competence.
58-year-old former Member of Parliament for Mampong in the Ashanti region, Francis Adainimo, occupies the 4th slot on the ballot and will bidding for the presidential slot of the NPP for the 2nd time. The engineer from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is hopeful the delegates will be kind to him.
My leadership is about uniting our amazing energies throughout the entire country. It is about bringing together our individual experiences and inspirations, while also respecting the many differences in our party. We want to foster inclusivity, not divisiveness.
Elton Broby for Joy News.
Beyond Elting, you're getting to know about the 4 individuals going into this race, and the stakes, I must point out, are high for all the 4 individuals going into this race in the next 14 hours or more. Kweku Asante is joining us now, as in just the last few minutes, the Ghana Police Service, true to the words of the IGP, is giving an overdose of deployment of security personnel. Kweku Asante, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, is on the bit for the elections as well, joins us with the latest from the Ghana Police Service, promising to secure the ballots. What more do we know in terms of the security arrangements?
Well, Blessed, like you said, the IGP speaking just a few days back and promising an overdose of security. This statement signed by Grace Ansah-Kofi, the Assistant Commissioner of Police, the Director of Public Affairs, says the police service would like to assure the general public that sufficient security measures have been put in place to maintain law and order, as well as ensure peace and security before, during and after the NPP presidential primaries tomorrow. Adequate police personnel have been deployed throughout the country to provide security for the elections. As an additional layer of security, police body-worn cameras will also be deployed at all voting centers. And as part of the security arrangement, the police service has also held a series of stakeholder engagements with the Electoral Commission, the NPP Presidential Election Committee, and reps of the flag bearer hopefuls.
Lots of the representatives of all the four candidates going into the election are already crisscrossing, the various constituencies across the country, just crossing the final T's and dotting the I's ahead of that crucial contest for the NPP, which says it is on a campaign to break the 8 and would like to solidify its base after tomorrow's exercise. Lots of comments even coming through from the Ashanti region, where we're receiving reports about claims of some names that have not yet reflected on the party album going into the elections. All these matters are coming up. Let's hear from the reps and spokespersons for the various candidates going into the elections to find out the level of preparedness going into the race. Already some votes are trickling in, and Kwekwe Asante is with us just to give us a sense of what's happening even before we bring in Samir, who speaks for the Vice President, Ken Wood, Nuoso, who speaks for Dr. Koto-Free, and the others who are joining us now on the telephone line. But let's break it down for our viewers to have a sense of what's happening already. Those in the diaspora, the NPP in the US, have spoken already and have made their votes known as a result of what the outcome is from the NPP USA. And we have the Vice President leading already with over 77% plus of the votes.
In fact, Blessed, if you look at the NPP arrangement, they've already started putting out the votes as have been coming in from their branches overseas. If you look at the results there, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia leading in a pole position with 77.04% with 208 votes. Right. Honorable Kennedy Ohinel Japan with 22.22%, 60 votes. Honorable Owusu Efria Koto 0.37%, a single vote, as well as Honorable Francis Adainimo 0.37% as well, a single vote. So this is what the NPP branches outside the country are going to allocate.
And if this is anything to go by, it's just pointing to one thing, that just as Global Info Analytics is pointing to us, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia may get a majority of the votes, but as to whether or not this will translate into an outright victory is what it is that we're not able to confirm. Let's hear from Samir Uku, who speaks for the Vice President, joins us on the telephone lines now. Good evening to you, sir. Good to be speaking to you once again, just on the eve of the elections. How prepared is your candidate going into the elections? He says, "Follow who know road." Right? That's the expression the Vice President is using as part of his campaign bait to delegates. Do you feel that that message indeed has gone down well?
Well, good evening to your cherished listeners. The Vice President yesterday spent the time also making phone calls to delegate, random phone calls to several of these delegates, and I'm sure you've seen some of the videos gone viral. Secondly, we also spend time also receiving briefing from the various sectors of his campaign as to our level and state of preparedness. And today he spent greater part of the day privately trying to also reflect on the various tours and, also taking it easy ahead of tomorrow's crucial polls. So I haven't seen him today, but who's talking, and I know that he's taking to them more on a personal family level, and also trying to take it easy as we also prepare for tomorrow. But from the campaign side, we are all set. Almost all our agents across the country, they are on standby. They've been trained to also monitor every detail. And let me put this across. We have also received some of this intel, and we passed the on as well to the relevant security agencies that some people may attempt to also wear t-shirts of the vice president and to also foment trouble in some of the polling centers. We are fully committed to the arrangement that the party has put in place, and we have signed up to it and committed to it, that the security of the process, the supervision of the elections is under the Electoral Commission, but the security of the area, the perimeter in the process is in the hands of the Ghana Police.
And just because, sorry, Sami, but just because we do not have the luxury of time, just be brief on that for us. Where are you picking this intel from?
Well,
have you reported to the Ghana Police Service?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying, that what we have to do, we have done the needful. But these are things that are also trickling in. But on a whole, we believe that we are all set for tomorrow, and we are confident that the delegates have heard the message of the Vice President, and we believe that they will follow Who No Road.
I see. Sami Oku speaks for the Vice President and, of course, his campaign bid for 2024. There are others in this race, including Dr. Akoto Afriyie, who's the former Greek Minister. Ken Wood Nose, who speaks for the former Greek Minister, joins us on the telephone lines now. Mr. Wood, the point about readiness for tomorrow. The party says it's aimed at solidifying rather than dividing the party. Are you ready for the exercise?
Very, very much ready for tomorrow. We have used the whole of the day deploying logistics and personnel. And like Sami said, we are also poised to monitor every bit of the process.
Intel from the camp of the Vice President that some unscrupulous individuals are already infiltrating your ranks, attempting to, cause chaos, as a result of the exercise that will be held tomorrow. What message do you have for such individuals?
Of course, the IGP has indicated that the Ghana Police Service will be up to the task, to the extent that they are bringing to every polling station a mobile judge office, so that people who flout, offend the law will be dealt with immediately or judged immediately at the polling station. So, for security, we don't have any doubt that the Ghana Police, from our interactions with them over the period, are very much poised and up to the task. Of course, we haven't picked any such intel, as to some unscrupulous people trying to, undermine the process of creation. Of course, we haven't picked any such intel. And I can assure you that we are very confident that Ghana Police have the chance.
And that Ken Wood also speaks for Dr. Akoto Afriyie's campaign. Just as we've indicated to you through that statement coming through from the Ghana Police Service, there is a firm assurance from the Police Service that it is working closely with the Electoral Commission to ensure that the process is, fruitful and safe as well as peaceful. Let's speak to Dr. Sribo Kweku, Director of Electoral Services at the EC. Doc, thank you for joining us at this crucial moment when, of course, everyone now is looking forward to the EC organizing a peaceful and transparent exercise. Have you deployed your men yet, and what are the arrangements for tomorrow? Doc, I hope you can hear me. I'm just asking about the arrangements for tomorrow. Dr. Sribo Kweku, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I was just asking about, level of preparedness for tomorrow and what the marching orders are in terms of the arrangements for the exercise.
I would say that we've sent all the materials to the regions, and they were supposed to be sent to the district today. Everything is already there, so we had our
briefing for the regional directors, and they are supposed to be picking that for the ticket officers. So I would say that we are set for the election. God will look tomorrow.
The very common feature we've seen with these kind of internal elections for political parties is the situation where some of the delegates attempted to go to the extent of snapping their ballots in a pictorial form, sending that through WhatsApp platforms to their preferred candidates. How are you, arranging to check that this time around?
I didn't get that one.
I was just talking about, the attempts by some delegates, as we've seen in previous political party internal, elections, where most of them go to the ballot or to the polls and taking a photograph of their ballots and sending that to their preferred candidates. How are you intending to check that?
The guidelines are that nobody is supposed to go to the polling station demarcated area with any form of gadget, be it phone or any form of recording equipment. And if you have put a handbag, you are supposed to put the handbag down with the registration officers. Those in charge of the register, you can proceed to get your ballot paper and the rest. So we are allowing any form of equipment at the demarcated area, with the exception of the agents who are supposed to go who can go with phone because they need to be communicating.
Okay, I see. Have you been notified of the developments in Sunyani East reports that exercise will be placed on hold?
I'm aware that they are not voting because they have an issue at the court.
So you've been officially informed about that?
Well, long time ago.
Dr. Sribo Kweku, I'm grateful that you're spending some time with us, and of course we look forward to that exercise tomorrow. And if you're just not off the line yet, can we just confirm one more time if there are 4 individuals going into this race? Because as you know it, there was supposed to be 5, and of course one has opted out. Do you have only 4 names now? Just for clarity's sake.
We have 4 names according to the notice of poll and the ballot papers. We did the balloting for the position for them, and we did it for only 4 people.
I see. Only 4 then. That confirms to us that John Alan Kujichermating would not be in this race as expected after the first round of elections, as the EC is just confirming to us now that 4 individuals indeed will be going into that contest. There are more individuals joining us, speaking on behalf of their candidate and looking forward to the race for tomorrow, including those who speak for the other camps. We'll be getting them on for you shortly, but Professor Kobi Mensah is a political marketing expert joining the conversation. He will be joining us shortly and speaking to us on that matter. But Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary of the governing New Patriotic Party. Thank you, sir, for joining us. All set for the exercise tomorrow? What further details do you have in terms of either an updated guideline or further notice to the party?
Thank you very much. I'll say good evening to cherished listeners. The NPP is very ready for tomorrow's historic event. That we will be electing the flag bearer of our party, and then climax that at the Accra Sports Stadium, where we will be outdooring the flag bearer, and then various speeches will be heard there. Yes, the elections committee of the party that has been set up by the National Council have done a yeoman's job. Up to today, they have engaged all the aspirants. Yesterday, the National Council, the National Council of Elders called for a meeting between the National Executive Committee as well as the flag bearer and then the elections committee. So all the aspirants were there. They signed an agreement to stay true to the party and be faithful to the party, irrespective of the outcome of tomorrow's election. All centers are ready. The Electoral Commission, the Security, Ghana Police have put in all the measures. All albums have been dispatched to the centers. Delegates that will be voting in these elections have been informed of what materials that will come to them, and in terms of food and what have you, all arrangements have been made. We are waiting tomorrow, 7 a.m., the Electoral Commission will start the process for the election.
And how about Sunyani? We understand that there are some challenges you have there, right?
Yes, Sunyani is. It is a legal matter. We are waiting. If there is any ruling contrary to what we have, then the party will issue a statement with regards to that. And as we said now, there is no any court document that has come to take off what is happening in Sunyani East, and we leave it at the legal state.
Okay, the issues about the electoral roll, the Ashanti region is already experiencing some, concerns about that. The Asokwa constituency wing of your party reports, for instance, where some delegates are not able to find their names on the voter album of the party. What's accounting for this?
I haven't received this complaint that you are talking about. We released a copy of the document on the 4th of last month. We released a copy of the document on the 4th of last month. And we asked every constituency and the aspirants to go through the album and come with petitions or complaints so that these matters will be resolved. It will be very surprising that an hours to this, somebody is coming with a certain complaint when we had ample time of 1 month for these issues to be addressed. I can tell you on fact that many other constituents, Menchia North, Tano North, Tano South, Abuakwa South, a lot of other constituencies have come up with such a complaint, and all these matters have been addressed. Albums were dispatched by the Electoral Commission yesterday, and it will be very surprising that persons that are aware that these matters should be brought to the party's attention keep this information to themselves and to come at the last hour for this to be done. I'm very sorry. I think that the Electoral Commission and the Elections Committee will have the opportunity to deal with this matter at this particular point. But as a party, this is where I will refer the matter to.
Haruna Mohammed, Deputy General Secretary of the governing New Patriotic Party. We wait to see what the outcome of that exercise will be. This is your election headquarters and the coverage brought to you proudly by Petrosol. And of course, Petrosol is sending that message to you for you to be aware that everything you do should be about clean energy. And that's why they're supporting this coverage that we're bringing to you. But today, there's been a lot of action in Parliament, except to say that the NPP MPs were nowhere to be found. Kuku Asante is still in studio with us, and Kuku, many are wondering why the MPs would neglect national duty for party politics.
Well, some would argue that the flag bearership election is also about national duty. Some have argued, but in fact, on the floor of Parliament today, there were just about 8 New Patriotic Party MPs. If you add the Deputy Speaker, who is a former NPP member, but is caucusing with the majority side, that would be around 9, and most of them were not on the floor. And the explanation that we have gotten on and off the record is that some of them actually were outside of Accra, going back to their various constituencies to mop up campaign for their respective candidates. We've heard from some of them declaring support for their Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So far in Parliament, there's not a single person who has endorsed any of the other 3 candidates. There used to be a few MPs who endorsed Mr. Lansha Martin, but since he resigned from the party, they have now endorsed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So it was the minority who raised the matter on the floor, who said that where are their colleagues in the NPP and why are they putting party politics above Parliament? Let's listen to the minority chief whip, Gavin Kwame Agboja.
We don't have any problem with the former Minister of Education, now Minister of Energy, doing the name for Minister of Education, who is even a member of Parliament, but they didn't even tell us where he is. We are hearing he's campaigning somewhere for a candidate during the showdown. Then, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Energy alone being here laying paper for every minister, at least let's know where the rest of the ministers are today. You cannot pretend that you are the minister of every ministry. Where are your colleagues? We know there's no cabinet meeting today, so where are the rest of the ministers? We know you are engaged in the spillage is affecting you, so you are in Parliament. But the rest of the ministers, education, Trade and industry, communication. How could you be all these ministers in the same day? I mean, let's know where the ministers are. So, honorable leader, where are they? Honorable leader, honorable Lydia, where are the rest of the ministers?
And the majority is not taking this lightly.
Yes, we heard from Lydia Sarah Malasan, who explained that a number of these MPP MPs, of course, we knew that they had to travel very long distances, and so she was calling for an adjournment of the House so that all those matters could be considered.
Members here are traveling, some to the north, some to across the country. So, Mr. Speaker, you should know where I belong by now. Mr. Speaker, we therefore ask that the House I move that they adjourn to Tuesday, 10 in the forenoon. It's not even 12 o'clock. We are ready to work. We want to work. Why are you adjourning the House? Huh? Please, majority is a big business. What else to do? What do you want to do?
Honorable members, the House is accordingly adjourned to Tuesday, the 7th.
And Tuesday, it is for parliamentary activities, but there will be a political showdown, as the MPs are referring to it. But here on Joy 99.7 FM and on all multimedia platforms, we're bringing you that coverage of the NPP's presidential primaries. And of course, your election headquarters will be giving you every bit of the updates that you need to hear about the exercise. And that coverage is brought to you by Petrosol and the new Force. Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, always a delightful experience. And the new Force, a new nation. I am Blessed Sogah. Log on to myjoyonline.com. We have updates for you. Next is Ghana Connect.